Welcome back to the another session of our data structure journey. Today we are going to learn how to insert an element at end of the double linked list and what is a double linked list, how to insert the element into the first position of the linked list. We are already covering the last video. So I will put in my description section so you can go to refer on the session. Then only it will be easy for understand the concept. So first, what are the possibilities? So whenever we go to insert an element, so first we have to create a node. In case of double linked list, the node has two part. First one, three part. First one is the pointer to the previous node. Second one is the information data we want to store. Third one is the address of next node. So according to that, the linked list is established. So whenever we go for memory allocation, there is a chances whether memory allocated or not. So we have to use malloc function in case of C language for memory allocation. If the memory allocation is not done, then what happened? We have to print the error message and we have to exit. Case 2 means memory allocation is done. Then there are two cases. Either list is empty means previously there is no data present inside the double linked list, that we called as the list is empty, or list have some elements. So first case we have to consider. So if there is no element, so what we have to make? We have to make the newly created node as the PTR. So this is the node. Node has three part. This part is store the address of previous node. This is the information or data we want to store. Then another one is the, this one is for the address of next node. Then store the data into the node information part. So this is the node information part. We have to store, how to store? PTR info equal to num. Num is the variable where we are going to store the information from the keyboard. So we store the 15 value, then make a back and next pointer of newly created node as a null. So this is the newly created node, that the PTR, both the pointer we have to make as a null, because previous there is no element. So this is only single element. So there is no next element, there is no previous element. So both the pointer we have to make the as a null. Then we have to make the start pointer as well as the last pointer as a newly created node, because previous there is no element, so start and last both are points to the null. Only one element present inside the newly created list, so it will point both the start as well as the last pointer points to the first node, as it is a single node. So this is the case when list is empty. Second case, that is list have elements. So whenever list have elements, so we have to insert it the last node. So this node right now we can consider as a list have element, one element right now. Then you have to make that newly created node as a PTR. So this is our newly created node and we make the as PTR and the address is 500. After that, we have to store the data into information part. This node has three parts. This is for back pointer, this is for next pointer, and this is for the information part. So we store the information. Once we store the information, then make the next pointer of newly created node as a null. Why? Because we are going to insert into the last position. If we are going to insert in the last position, after that there is no element, so we have to make this pointer as a null. So we have to make the PTR next equal to null. Then make the back pointer of newly created node, this pointer, to last node. We have to make the connection, so we have to store the address of last node. So now last node address is 100. Store the address 100. Then next one is make the next last node new to newly created node. So make the next of last. This is the last next. We have to make to the connection here. So this is the way we make the connection. Then we have to make the newly created node as a last node. So this node we make as a newly created node. So this is the way we can insert a node at end of the linked list. So next we have to implement this algorithm into a C language. So this is our program. So previous video, we are already completed how to insert the value into the first position of the linked list. That is the double linked list. So here we declare the structure declaration. So first one is the information, then the next pointer, then the back pointer. So three element of the node. Then we make the start as well and last as a null. So this is the algorithm we are already implemented for the display also. We are already completed. I will put the description section the link, so don't worry about it. But only here we have to put the function name, that is the insert at end. So the function name is the insert, and function does not take any parameter. So here, before going to the detail of the program, let us understand how to write down the code. So here what happened? This is the algorithm. So first we have to check whether memory allocation done or not. If the memory allocation is done, then only we have to perform the operation. So this is the case. So case 2 is memory allocation. Anyhow, we have to go for memory allocation first. So let us write down the code to declare the PTR pointer. Then we have to check whether memory allocation done or not. If PTR equal to null means memory allocation is not done, then we have to write down printf else. So if else means then there are two cases. Either list is empty or list have elements. Anyhow, for both the case, two statements are same. That is, we have to make PTR, then we have to store the information. So if both the first two statement are same for the two cases, so we have to first store the value. So here what we have to store? If else means we have to store the value. Before that, we have to read the value. So once we read the value, then what we have to do? We have to scan. For example, we have to store inside the num value. So here, the num also we are not declare whether it is a integer, character or float. So we have to declare integer num. Once scan, then we have to store the value. That is info is num. So first part is over. Then make the back pointer and next pointer of newly created node as a null. Means the both the pointer we have to make as a null because this it is a single node. So ptr next equal to ptr back. Ptr next equal to ptr back equal to null. So we store the null value both the pointer. After that, now make the start as well as the last pointer as a newly created node. Then start equal to last equal to ptr. So this is the case for if there is list is empty. So these are the things we have to do if the list is empty means anyhow these three things is common for all. Only these two is for the list is empty. So if list is empty means how to know list is empty? If start equal to null. Then only it is true. If it is true, it means that we have to these two code we have to put inside. So this is the case for if list is empty. Otherwise means there is element is present. Then this is the else part. Else. So make the text pointer of newly created as a null. How to do it? ptr next equal to null. Anyhow, we have to go to insert in last position. So it is null. Then make the back pointer of newly created node as a to the last node. So ptr back equal to last. Then make the next pointer of last node point to the new node. So we have to make the connection with the new node. So last next previous last next was null. Right now it is last next equal to ptr newly created node. Then we have to make the last node as a newly created node. So we have to make the last equal to ptr. So after that we can write down insertion is completed because these two statement we are performing for the inserting. This else part for the insertion part whether the list is empty or it has elements. So after that we can write down printf insertion insertion completed. It is we can write down like this. So now so this is the end of our insert at last position. So let's see our complete program. So this is our else part. Yes, it is our else part. So this is after that we have the main function here. Inside the main function we have to add one more case. Insert right now 3 each, 2 each. Insert at and then new line 3 is the display. 4 is the exit. This is the case 2. We have to also put the things inside the switch case. So this is the menu drive program how to write down. In my previous video we are already covered. I also put in my description section. You can go through it. Oh, okay. Okay, let's compile the program. Now let's run the program. Insert at end. Okay, we go for insert at end. 10 to 9. Then again insert in 33. For example, I want to display. 3 is display. Insert at end position. So first element is the 11, second element is the 22, third element is the 33 because it is insert at the end position. That's why the element inside the list forward moving, then backward direction. As a forward moving or forward direction also we can write down it is the same thing backward direction in English, or if you want we can make the same way so that it will be easy to check. So display function we can make little bit changes that it is backward direction, we can make as a forward direction. Same thing, only just we, if I want to go for display right now, list is empty. So insert at begin. Then we go for the 30, then 240, then display. So 11, 30, 40, forward direction, backward direction. So this is the our linked list. So we are already got the correct answer. So this is our function in C language. So here we have to understand how the program is actually executed. So whenever we call the first internet, then what happened? One norm is the variable is declared. Then as per the node size, the memory allocation is done. For example, this is the memory allocation is done. Address is 400. It has three part. Information, next and back. Then PTR equal to null. No. Because PTR 400. So it come to else part. So else part means print enter the element into the list. So it will ask which element you want to store. So whatever we enter, it store the inside. For example, I enter 15. So 15 store inside the num. Then PTR info. So this is the PTR. So PTR info means this part store which value? 15 value. Then it will check start equal to null. Yes, because initialization start and last is null. Previously there is no element. So start is null, last is null. So if start equal to null, then what happened? PTR next, PTR back equal to null. So PTR, how it's going to be performed? First it store the back. PTR back is null. Then this is null. Then start equal to last equal to PTR. So what is PTR? 400. So start store which value? 400. Want to this one. Last also store to want to this one. So this is over. So insertion, whenever we call the insertion function at end, so we enter the value 15 and the node is created. Now, for example, we call the same function once again. So whenever we call the function at that time, what happened? So same num is a variable is declared. Then what happened? It will ask us enter the elements. For example, I enter the value is 25. So before that, what happened? Memory allocation is done. So for example, the memory allocation is done and the memory allocation is 800 and right now this is the PTR. By this statement, then it will store which value? PTR info equal to num. PTR info which value? Num value that is the 25 we store. Then it will check PTR start equal to null. No, because right now what happened? Start is the 400 value, last also 400 value. So it will go to the else part. What is the else part? PTR next equal to null. Now we store the value of null here. Then PTR back. So this is the PTR back position. So back store which value? Last value. What is the last? 400. So if you store this one, then what happened? It will connect to this node. Then last next. What is the last? 400. So 400 next which value? This value. Store which value? PTR value. So it store which value? 800. So if store 800 means connection is established, then PTR value store inside what? Last. So 800 store which location? If we store this location, then what happened? Connection is established to this location previous. It will connected to first node previous this connection. Right now this connection is gone because right now I stored the after that output will be display insertion completed. So this is the way insert into the last position is performed. If you are able to understand the concept of insert at the last position, Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe the channel, like as well as to share the channel. Thanks for watching.